Mr. Russell DeCease on the guitar, y'all. That's Mark Manning.
You know, Colin and I were actually at some similar shows back in the early 80s when we first went to some band shows. And, you know, 82, 83, things like that. We both sort of, you know, we were obviously hadn't met each other then. We're miles apart. He had already moved up here with his family. I was still in Connecticut coming out of high school.
When we moved up here, I was really apathetic to life, and I had, I'd left all my friends behind and was kind of a pissed off young guy. I couldn't dig Syracuse at first. Well, I didn't live in the city. I lived out in the suburbs, and I really couldn't get with the suburban scene.
Like, we were going to the same concerts at the same time before we knew each other.
And at that time, my old man asked me, well, what do you want to do with your life? I said, I just want to play music and travel. And I didn't even play music at that time. That was just like some kind of, comic book pipe dream.
I remember hearing the band for the first couple of times, and I loved the sound right away. I was like, who is this? And I looked down and I said, oh, it's Colin and those guys. Look at that. And
Mark and I worked together with Kim Lembo, and eventually he got into Blancos while I was, doing all these other things. And then when their drummer got ready to leave,
I saw in the paper that they were playing at this place, Fagan's, up on the SU Hill, and I went to hear him there again. And I remember saying to my wife, I can just hear what I want to do. I can already hear what I want to do with this band, and so I got invited to sit in and.
Sure don't mean the doggone thing. Without my Corina, sure don't mean the doggone thing.
A fiddle player named Stacy Phillips, who grew up as the young Jewish kid and playing in Brooklyn in Latin bands with the Puerto Rican and the Chicano. And when he would not quite get the feel of the tunes, they would kind of like, El Blanco. They'd give him a little rib, So as we were kind of like getting the band together and struggling with our things, and in deference to this guy with Colin and I had met at a guitar workshop, people would ask us what the name of the band was, and it wasn't really a band. We were just sort of hanging out with Colin as he was running an open mic night, and we knew Jose. He had moved up here after meeting him at this guitar workshop. Jose had moved up here to stay with Colin and play with Roosevelt Dean, sort of his first, real full-time guitar gig. And Colin just sort of looked at people, asked us what the name of the band was after a couple of weeks of hanging out at the jam there, and after a particularly stilted attempt at some of the Latin stuff, the name of the band is Los Blancos. And our first drummer said, and the name stuck like a bad tattoo.
In a lot of these places, we're flowers growing through the sidewalk. They're restaurants, they're bars, they're not designed as music venues.
A lot of the places we play don't have cover charges, and the only way we can make ourselves worthy is by bringing in people that will put money over the bar and into the cash register.
And I allow them to tell me what they usually start with, and then I work with them on it. If they come in on the first occasion, they bring a huge following. A lot of times on the second time, if they ask for a little bit more, I may give it to them based on my sales that night as well. I want people here for my food, not just because we're providing entertainment.
The music business is full of scumbags and con men and backstabbing cheats, and the rest of them aren't very nice people.
It's a business full of carnivores, I can tell you that.
That's part of being a working musician. we can't all be the winner of American Idol, and frankly, I wouldn't want to be. We did a gig at the Jamesville Balloon Festival, and we played after this dude, Bo Bice. And dude looked like a marionette, I felt bad for him. It just looked like a horrible life, and they had this thing that, they really pushed that he was playing with his high school friends and the guys he grew up playing with. And, I wouldn't mind having gigs all over the country and, showing up in a bus, but, having to run out on stage like some little preening dork is my nightmare, I don't want to have to kowtow to anybody. So one of the deals of being a working musician is that if you're going to play some of your own music at least, if not all, you're going to have to play situations where you may not be playing in the hottest venue, or there may not be a huge crowd.
We want to be able to come back to that room time and time and time again. We don't want anybody getting pissed off, and we, more than anything, it's got to be inviting. It can't be something that drives people away.
I mean, there's a lot of things that make it fun, obviously. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this as much, as much as we do. 200 and something nights a year for as long as we have. It's hard to say, and it's different things on different nights. There's some nights where it doesn't even matter if it's a big crowd or a small crowd or big room, small room, or where you are in town or whatever. It could just be the interaction with the people you're playing with. Like, it's just the night that feels good playing, and it doesn't matter if anybody's listening. Roots music is a powerful thing, whether it's the Dead or the band or any of the stuff.
The Allman Brothers and Leonard Skinner.
A lot of times people don't know which are the covers and which are the originals, which I really like.
You know what? I get such a charge out of seeing people get excited about music, and it's like to get to write a song, to think of some experience that you think has commonality about it, that universal appeal, and to have the opportunity to think up some little ditty that, maybe it's about your life, maybe isn't about your life. It might be about something you imagine, might be about something real, but to have a situation that that makes you feel strongly enough, or, maybe it just comes to you through creative process, but to be able to take that song and have the opportunity to go and perform that in front of a live audience and have a certain portion of those people relate to it. And the biggest charge I ever get in my life is when we play these gigs and I see people actually singing the lyrics along. And when I screw up the lyrics to my own songs and I see somebody else singing the right lyrics, it's both like a terrible feeling because you fucked up your own song, and also a great feeling because they know your song that well and they noticed, and that's just a huge charge.
That's really the reason we've done it so long, is that it's a vehicle for writing and actually getting to play our own stuff. And there's nights where the majority of a set might be all our own material, but we just don't make a big deal about it. And I think that's a mistake a lot of bands make, is they make this special exception when they play one of their own songs, and it's just a song, Play it. Don't preface it. Don't say, "Hey, we're gonna attempt an original tune." Colin will laugh when he hears that. Just don't set it up. Just play it. Just play it. If it stinks, the crowd will let you know.
People go out and they're looking for something, and there are the people that are all the way into it. I mean, they're there to pay attention to every single note, and then there are the other people that are just there. They get the same way I was talking about before. They get a vibe. They get a vibe that's what they want to do. They want to blow off some steam at the end of the week. It's like that. Other people really get something much more flowery, much more like intense and spiritual from it. And so it doesn't matter which level people are taking it from, but the point is we are supplying that.
music is an escape for people, and it's funny, like hip hop music has really grabbed the biggest sales are in kind of like white suburban markets, and I think on some level, a kid gets to wear a baseball hat with the brim cocked sideways, and all of a sudden he's a gangsta, and that's cool. That's all right. It's okay to imagine yourself as something other than you are. That's what makes life fun. If everybody had to be the nerdly little dork they were when they were a kid, wouldn't it be boring?
Because the bottom line is when you're in these bars, especially if it's someplace out of town, someplace that may not know us, the majority of the people in that place aren't there for you. Even if they're there at that place because there might be live music or whatever, they're not there for your gig. They're there for the venue and for their friends that are at the venue. So to them, it's not like it's an uphill battle, but you have to sort of respect their space and don't expect them to, be in rapt attention from the first thing you do. You gotta win them over.
I think we've been playing so long that we do our best to just play as hard when there are just two people in the room as if there are 200 or 2,000 if we do a festival. But nonetheless, it's a lot easier when the people are giving you that energy, because then it becomes effortless.
Some places clubs are real loud, so my ears would be ringing, after playing there. But the primary reason would be because I often can't hear myself. When I plug my ears, I can hear the kit better. If I can hear the kit better, I can play better.
Give me your bro. No.
Whatever it is he tells you, it's a lie.
Hey, look. You guys rock, man. I didn't realize Los Blancos was playing tonight, though. You're my band, from Syracuse area.
It's why you're wearing a Spinderella shirt, which
But
is just as
I
cool.
was bowling with a bunch of teachers tonight.
I always say that one of the reasons we survive on top of each other so much is that there's 4 guys in the band, but there's 5 seats in the van. That one extra space in the back, so you're not elbowing each other. That makes all the difference in the world.
It has to be something extreme if you're not making it to the gig. And again, I think it comes down to the fact that we do it for a living, and so we all have to rely upon one another to all be there and deliver the product every single time.
The running joke at the end of it, when they're kind enough to actually applaud and play the role of the encore-seeking audience, that you say, okay, just this once. And that's, a lot of the names of the records we've made have been kind of like inside jokes, and it seems to me a lot of the bands I admire have done the same kind of thing.
It's very much a family mentality in that sense.
If I got a job right out of college with my engineering degree, by now I'd probably be making, 80, 100,000. I would imagine. I don't know for sure. It all depends on what path I would have taken. But I would be in a cubicle somewhere, and I just wouldn't be happy. It's just, sure, the money would be easier. I wouldn't have to worry about, God, what if my car dies? What am I going to do? That wouldn't be a problem. But at the same time, I'd still pick this, and I'm going to always still pick this. It's something I'm going to always do.
One of my favorite songwriters is a guy named Dan Penn, who wrote a lot of stuff for people from Muscle Shoals and Stack Studios, and his songs are beautiful, and they're about life, and they're about emotions, and they're, they once again use imagery. It's not just like, I stuck it in her. It's that kind of shit grosses me out.
I work harder now than when I had 2 day jobs and was going to school full time and playing in multiple bands, I work harder on this now by 2 or 3 times over. It's way more time at the computer, at the desk, always, you know, handling something. There's email from somewhere, contract.
We play a real lot, but we've still, and we have traveled, but for the most part, we're in a very concentrated, small little area. And I would love to get the music out to just more people.
There is a certain level of, like, yeah, you're there. There's a lot of people that would, you know, give a limb to do what we're doing, you know, quote unquote, for a living.
Here's Van Morrison, who's like kind of a frumpy Irish dude, you know, with funny sideburns and sing his balls off. Do you think he would have made it in the video age? Britney Spears sure didn't get anywhere on her singing.
I've been an itinerant musician for 35 years, and I don't know that I want to chase the brass ring anymore after my time with Los Blancos, whenever that might be. You know, that could be, who knows, 5 minutes or 5 years from now.
If God forbid it doesn't happen with this band, I'll still be playing the guitar someplace. You know,
You still be playing when you're 80?
if I'm 80.
Just to have the freedom of time to concentrate more on being the musician and being the artist and trying to do that side of it, that would be my dream. Just to be able to devote all the energy to the writing and playing and not so much to dealing with the rest of the fuss. Like, phone's ringing.
Yeah, something.
I gotta answer it. It's business day.
I can't believe my luck today. You know, I can't believe my luck today, my luck today. Oh, I can't believe my luck today, my luck today. Oh, I can't believe my luck today, my luck today. Oh, I can't believe my luck today. No, I can't believe my away from you, honey. I miss you, that's for sure. I know I love you. Oh yeah, oh yes I do. I know I love you. Oh yeah, oh yes I do. Now when I needed someone, you were by my side. When I didn't know my way, darling, you volunteered to be my guide. When I was down and out, you pulled me through, yeah. If you ever be in need, darling, I'd do anything for you. I know I love you. Oh yeah, oh yes I do. I know I love you. Oh yeah. Oh yes I do. You show me kindness, baby, in so many, many ways. And you give me loving, darling, each and every day. In my darkness, baby, will you show me the light? And when I